Hello folks, and welcome to another episode of CrystalMind Chronicles. I'm Kieran Dave, and I have been really busy. In case you're curious, yes, everything went fine. Everything went well. I'm fine. My shoulder is fine. I hope you're good too. And I have been really eager to show you all the stuff that's happened. Now, we've had a few streams since the last time that I recorded an episode. Oh, we should start this back up. The trees are getting a little bit unkempt. And so we've actually had a lot of progress, and I'll show you pretty much everything rapid fire because there's so much. Ooh, God, that's loud. First of all, over here, we've got some farms, we've got some rice, a variety of things. We started on ours in a stream, and I've made some mage blooms, which are, of course, very, very beautiful. I love the color. I got a new skin, courtesy of skin artist Sweden, who's done many of my skins. Thank you, Sweden. This is an excellent job. It's an arcane kind of look. And I like it. I've upgraded my pickaxe. Now it's amethyst bronze. Here's the stats as they are right now. It's actually quite good. At level 2 of fortune, we'll probably be having to upgrade it to level 3 in just a moment. I made a mining laser and upgraded it significantly with fortune 3, efficiency 1, and a 3x3 range. I made a storage room and put all of my stuff in proper order, more or less. I also built a reactor. This reactor is outputting a small amount of power when I need it. We can refuel it now, and I'll show you. But it is also been slowly outputting cyanite, which will eventually be very useful. As you can see, once powered up and activated, it begins to output just shy of 200 RF a tick, or I'm sorry, FE a tick when full. It will not go to full right now due to the fact that we've got a fair amount of waste in the reactor. But when that clears, it'll come back. That's all being put into a redstone flux cell, which is using a basic wireless block charger to charge these machines. I have been squeezing a lot of mineral in preparation for the next project that we're going to have. I upgraded all of my armor to diamond except for the leg pieces, which didn't have a free modifier. This has actually helped quite a bit. I started working on Maho Tsukai by setting up a boundary of drain life. This has not been as successful as I'd hoped, but it is pretty funny when you speed up the spawner, and things just go totally crazy. I started building a passageway towards the meditation room I'm going to build. Inside that passageway is an arcane gateway from ours that leads all the way over here to this village where I've been trading a bunch for emeralds with the computer scientist and Fletcher. There's about 1 million babies here. There is a gateway back. It's just kind of up on a little road structure here so that the villagers can't wander into my base. I built a waystone. It makes it easier to get to certain parts of the map, like way out here. I've started playing with building blocks from Tinker's Construct. These copper platforms, once they oxidize, look really cool. I mean, really cool. And when you place them, they do weird things. They sort of connect in ways that seem organic and correct. Pretty neat. I made a mining scanner, and with it, I can locate deeply hidden ores. Occasionally, I find amazing things, like this supermassive iron vein, which just goes on and on. I've actually harvested a lot of it, probably over 4 or 5 stacks. But with my new mining laser that has Fortune 3, I'm swimming in iron ore. I managed to find a single block of ancient debris, and now I can actually scan for ancient debris and find it even in the most obscure of places, like underneath lava lakes. Which means I found 19 pieces so far, and I could go find more if I want. I just haven't really figured out what I'm going to use it for. There are a bunch of interesting things, and we can definitely process it to get quite a bit now. I haven't been the only one that's busy. The maintainers of the Direwolf20 118 mod pack have also released 2 versions. Hex casting is now a default add. You don't need to add it. So you can go ahead and give it a try, and you don't have to do anything to get a current version of that mod. But because I like to add a little bit extra, I've added Malum. I'm looking forward to digging into this. Malum is a cool mod. Thanks very much to Rorax, who recommended that I put it in. I'm looking forward to trying it. I think that's everything. So, as you can see, I've been pretty busy. I hope you're doing well too. Shall we get started? Yes. So, even though I built this storage room, and even though it does make it much easier to get the things that I need, although I'll be honest, putting them up here, I can't really see the numbers. But I still have to go digging through chests to find what I need. And I just am really tired of having to assemble everything I need and then to craft it. You know what we want in modded Minecraft. We want dynamic crafting and auto crafting. We want to be able to let the system do the work for us. Now, I have had some trouble getting an applied energistic system set up, and I don't think that this reactor could power a refined storage or applied energistic system anyways. I'd also like to try something different, so I have been putting together mineral glass, crystallized mineral chunks. These, together with some bits and bobs, should allow us to make a system out of integrated dynamics. That's good, because another thing up on the progress board is managing to auto-throttle the power. Currently, I run the reactor on and off by hand. And I have to just kind of hop up here, take a look at the battery, and give a kind of an eyeball sense of what we need. That's not okay. So integrated dynamics will let us handle both of those problems in one go. But first, for sure, auto crafting. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to craft some logic cable, a programmer, storage terminals, and crafting job terminals. And of course, item interfaces to sort of lock it all down. This is by far the most important kind of minimum set. We'll also need some variable cards at some point. And then we'll need some other things too, but this is the start, right? This is what we need to get the basics going. We probably also want some facades so that we can add some cool visuals. I'm thinking though that I'm actually going to have the first terminal just set in the ground right here. I might also run one upstairs. If you have everything you need laid out in advance, this isn't too tricky, but one thing I do know is that we do need to have an awful lot of pistons ready. So I'm going to make 16 of them, and half of them are going to become sticky pistons right off the bat. This will save a ton of time later when we're crafting these things. But initially, we're just going to need a bunch of this stuff, and I don't know, maybe that much will suffice. And as you can see, we're already blowing through our mineral shards. This is why I've spent a bunch of time manually harvesting my mineral trees. I'll get to why I have to do that in a little bit. Yeah, so all we need to do now is craft one of these. And after a little bit of crafting, I should be able to make the storage terminal and the crafting job terminal. Finally, we'll need several item interfaces. Gonna need some chests. Of course, we never have a good chest recipe when we need it. But I think we'll have to deconstruct a little bit more of these blocks to get it all done. I think this should be everything for a starter system. Fortunately, these recipes are fairly efficient, but I'm going to make a lot of these because we'll need them going forward. All right, all we have to do to start using this system, the bare minimum that we need, right, is to put an item interface, let's say right here. And then we'll put a storage interface on top of some cable right here. Now, of course, I'm going to come back in and clean up this system, but this is really all it takes, right? And now we should see that everything that's currently stored in here is available in the terminal, and there's a crafting system too. So yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Now, one thing I'm curious about is if we say aluminum, yeah, this is one thing that's kind of not so great about using any of these systems in an interface with drawers. And that is that it ends up sort of showing us a distorted picture of the world, right? Let's see, for example, I know I have 250 iron ingots in the system, right? Not an enormous amount, but more than I need right now. But it shows me actually the total nugget count, the iron ingot count, and the block of iron count. But if I were to pull one of these blocks of iron out, I'd actually have almost nothing left in the system, right? You'll note, by the way, that it also goes back in correctly and inserts. One thing we do need to do is make sure, I'm going to have to make a little bit of extra room to get down to the access space here. We will have to turn up the priority. I believe that turning it up is the right way. We always want to be inserting into this system first. Now, let me go ahead and lay the cable back behind this area over here so that we can start to interface it with all of our chests over here. Just a few item interfaces where we need them. And everything that I've found and put in a chest is now available. Now, there are two things missing with this. One, we don't have any sort of bulk storage block. This set of chests is nominally organized, right? I mean, not really, but I don't necessarily want to mess it up, and I don't want to mess up all of these drawers. But I do need some place to keep stuff. So that's what we're going to work on next, is a big bulk storage block that can hold a lot of our things. Once upon a time, we might have used colossal chests, but that's not an option anymore. Fortunately, I know something that does. And after that, we have to fix up the fact that we don't have auto-crafting. So once we have some bulk storage, then we'll work on the auto-crafting part. What do we need for bulk storage? Well, an awful lot of wood, check, and a fair sum of iron. The block we'll be using for now for mass storage is really a lot of blocks put together. It's a pretty cool new addition to create called the item vault. However, in order to make it, we're going to have to get a lot of plates. I'm going to need 81 barrels, and I'm going to need 162 iron plates. Normally, I'd be pretty daunted by this task, but we did learn one really fun trick. Bottle of time. I don't like it. Oh, am I glad that that noise is over with. All right, I think I just need 5 more barrels. We can go ahead and clear this out. Put this here, these here. Item vaults. Should be easy enough. Oh no, I'm a few plates short. I did my math wrong because of the noise. Well, you know what that means. Oh, wait. No, I just haven't picked them up yet. Thank goodness. The clanging. And there we go. We'll need to make some room behind the storage wall for this. Fortunately, I have a brand new tool that's pretty good at that. One thing that I really like about these blocks is that once you put them together, they kind of start assembling dynamically, and then they place themselves. Let's cut a little access hatch and get some more valuable minerals. And we should probably light it up. A little bit of blood magic. Ooh. All right. Run a bit of cable right to, let's say, it'll look best right here, right? Then we want to make sure that the priorities are lined up. We want this priority to be very, very high, I think. Save. We want this priority to be almost as high, so we'll say that's 14. I think. The rest of these should all be set to 0, which is sort of the neutral priority. Now, my understanding is that if I go ahead and toss some of these things in, let's say, so toss some spruce planks in, we should see this number go up. 194. Ah, okay. Slight glitch there. Things weren't going where I expected in the middle of a thunderstorm, so it was a little bit distracting. And actually, things are going up here when they shouldn't, and that is because I forgot to do something important. Besides making facades, I forgot to lock my drawers. Hasn't mattered up until now because I've been manually inserting things in, but I do need to click this once. That locks everything. I'm going to unlock, pull out the extra things, and get my inventory cleaned up, and then we'll do another test. One sec, because that really confused me for about 5 minutes. All right, So we'll pull out 404. We'll put back in. We see 404. We see 404. But if I put a new thing in the system that we haven't seen before, like for example, mineral berries, it won't show up here, and it shouldn't show up in any of these. I'm not seeing it. I don't have to go through this ever again. I'm excited. And it should be, in fact, over in here. All right. So the next thing to do, now that we've got a mass storage block set up, and of course, I could make another one of these. They are a little bit expensive, and maybe we want to hold off on that until we get applied energistics or refined storage or something, because they do have more dense storage blocks. But for now, this will do fine. And we can set up some autocrafting. So let me get some things put away, and let me get the ingredients I need, and we'll work on setting up the autocrafting so we can knock this sign off the wall. I can't even tell you all what a massive relief it's going to be able to just quickly work through my inventory, make a few of the things that I need, and bam, instantly a complicated craft with several parts. I know what I need, and I make it instantaneously. Ugh, what a relief. And this, of course, has a nice JEI sync mode, so we can go ahead and make this crafting table, which we're going to need. I'm going to need to replicate this several times, so the first thing we're going to work on is auto-crafting parts for auto-crafting. As anyone can tell you, that's a pretty common story. Now, I've taken the liberty of making a little bit more room here to work, and we'll start right here, I guess, because we don't really need to have any clear space. So, yeah, I think right here will look cool. This crafting table is the base block that we need for auto-crafting. All of our auto-crafting is either going to point to a machine or to a crafting table. And I like to put it on top because this kind of block sort of mirrors and looks like it's sort of meshing in, right? I think it looks pretty cool. We just got to connect it to the network. Boom. Now, this is a fully functional autocrafter, but it's unprogrammed. I don't know if anybody has seen this before. I don't think this is a very common use of integrated dynamics, but what we can do is grab some variable cards. We can pull out our logic programmer, select recipe. We'd like to make more of those integrated dynamics crafting systems, right? Yeah, so let's go ahead and add this, right? And the recipe for this, it needs blocks of mineral. We'll give it that. It needs iron. We'll be giving it that. It needs these variable transformers. We'll have to teach it that. It needs crafting tables. That seems like a common one, so let's go ahead and teach it that. Recipe for that. It understands things like Ordix, which is great. We give it a variable card. Just one, mind you. If you put in the whole stack, you get 32. We put it in here. And ta-da! We've now got the ability to craft, well, we could craft it this way, or we could go to crafting table, and we can see that it now offers us a craft. Now, before I say yes, I'm going to pull out the crafting terminal, the crafting job terminal here. And I'm going to put that here and put that down just so that we can see what's happening, right? Let's go ahead and order, I don't know, 10. It's not expensive. We'll say -1, next. And it'll say, I have 40 planks. I'm going to give you 10 crafting tables, craft, right? And we can already see they're coming in. We can see the crafting job here. And it kind of goes at its own pace. You can see here that we've got that. Now, one thing I've noticed that occasionally the first job after a system is loaded gets stuck. I wanted to show that because I sort of knew it would happen. It always seems to happen with crafting tables. I don't know why that is, but generally, once you go through your first one, you could see now it works. I don't really understand why that is the case, and if we were to pull them all out, it isn't just a matter of having some in your system, right? You go ahead and you craft it, and they show up. But you should generally just expect to have to do that. I don't know why, and I'll talk to the mod developers about it, because it's weird and it happens in multiple mod packs, so I think it's just a feature of that. But anyways, so all I have to do now is teach it how to use all the subcomponents of this, and we can craft more crafters. And that is the secret. We're going to craft to craft to craft. And after a little bit of time spent in the logic programmer, I've got the final card. Looks like we've taught it everything. Now, I'm going to show you that we should have the ability to craft this now, right? And if I craft it, it'll say how much do you want. It'll note that everything is stored. But I'm going to cancel out of that, grab all of the crafting tables out of the system, and then show you, right, this should work. Generally, these are fine. It should craft those two things. There we go, and we have one already. Ah, I'm so happy. There was a bug in a slightly earlier version that made this a little bit more sketch, but that seems to have been fixed. We just have the other bug now. And we can put down another one of these, and now we have a whole nother group of recipes. You will need a lot of these, because you only have a kind of a fixed amount of space. But there is one thing I thought would be fun to test with you all, because I don't know the answer. I think that only one of these can be used at a time on any given block, because the block will use the machine. Now, one thing that's cool is if you put the same recipe in multiple places, then it will actually distribute all of your crafting across those blocks. But I don't think that crafting tables specifically count for that rule. I think they are kind of a placeholder block. So if I ask for one, I'm willing to bet that we'll get an extra bit of work for free. So what I'm going to try and do is just put this right here, put this right here, and then, I don't know, let's grab the crafting table recipe and see if we get the system stuck or not. A little bit of science, shall we? All right, please give me one more of these. Thank you so much. Ah, and it did get stuck. So, science experiment complete. Don't do what we just did. You can only actually use one crafting table block at a time. And that's why we put the crafting table monitor in here. You can see it's in a bad place. It got stuck. We're going to stop it. That canceled the job. And I guess we'll pull this off. And you can see that we actually got an extra little crafting table there, which is fine. We'll go ahead and put that down here. I think it looks pretty cool to have these aisles of crafting tables set up with little cables. I think it looks different and neat. And now I can put all sorts of auto-crafting recipes in the system, and these blocks aren't terribly expensive. So let me go ahead and toss this back in, and I'll be loading this up with more recipes over time. The last thing I should probably do is make facades, because I don't like, first of all, I'm not going to leave these blocks here, and second of all, I don't really like leaving an open pit here. I mean, I guess it's fine, but it's a little weird. So we can go ahead and make some facades, like so. These are fairly cheap. Oh, we got to go over here. Facade. Boom. Thank you. Now, if we pick up some of these blocks and we craft, I guess just two. With the deep slate that we've got, we can go ahead and put it, if we can aim for it correctly. Yeah, we have to actually hit the cable. Bam. And now we have a nice little system pleasantly produced from the floor. I wish that we could dye them. I think that would be really cool. All right. I think that means that we can go ahead and knock this off our list. I'm pretty happy with that, folks. I hope you are too. Now, I'm going to call the episode here. We could maybe get a little bit more done today, but I think it's kind of nice, right, to have finished this up. To call it here, this is a nice bit of accomplishment, has definitely pushed our technology level forward, and the next little bit's going to be a little bit hairy, so I want to take some time. I really have appreciated all of the comments, all of the well wishes, and all the positivity that I've gotten on YouTube. Everybody talks about how bad YouTube comments can be, and surely they can, but none of you have been bad. You've been awesome. You're great. And so I just want to thank you and tell you that if you keep engaging, I'll do my best to keep up with you. Sometimes y'all get ahead of me. And I hope that you liked the kind of different energy that this episode brought. I tried to kind of change it up. I thought a little bit about what I was seeing, what I liked, what I didn't like. And I think that in general, I like this style a little bit more, even though I know that folks would like a chill sort of environment. I think that I can bring a lot of that sort of low-key action to the streams, and I invite you to come over twitch.tv/KieranDave if you'd like to hang out in the streams when I have them. Also, I'll try to keep the VODs available. I might even post them on YouTube, and maybe I can stitch them together into the episodes so that you can watch them coherently. But for the episodes themselves, a lot of people have told me they like the bite-sized episodes. They like it to go quick, they like things to get done, they like to see progress, and then they like to take it more slow and have a different experience when they watch the streams. So we're going to try that. folks, I'll see you next time, I hope. Bye!